This is WION World is One. This is your prime time, and you are watching GRAVITAS.
Hello and a very warm welcome. You're watching GRAVITAS. I'm Molly Gambhir. Let's get started. Our top focus tonight on GRAVITAS are the battle lines of the Russia-Ukraine war and the Iran-US war merging. Iran issued a major warning threatening retaliation after what it claimed was a Ukrainian attack on an Iranian commercial vessel. We tell you what Ukraine and Iran are saying at this point. We are taking you beyond the headlines tonight. What triggered these developments in the first place and what's happening behind the scenes? What will Iran's retaliation look like? Is Europe getting dragged into this war, and will this expand into a wider conflict? We're decoding that shortly. Also on the show for you tonight, has Iran's secret weapon been beating American defenses? We get you the complete story. A GRAVITAS special report coming up on India reportedly aiming for a major expansion of its navy by 2035. Are Chinese students training for US colleges in ICE-style camps? We get you the details. A detailed report coming up on Europe's summer of hell with thousands evacuated as fires ravage France and Spain. A special story coming up. A 14-year-old girl from Andhra Pradesh in India, a carpenter's daughter, selected for a special mission to build a global satellite. What's the Odyssey effect all about? The movie is now driving a major rush to learn the Greek language. We tell you more. We also tell you why, according to experts, you should never kill spiders in your home. All this and a lot more coming up. Is the West Asia conflict expanding, and are the battle lines of the Russia-Ukraine war and the Iran-US war merging? As of now, there seems to be a dangerous overlap taking place between the two conflicts in Europe and Asia. In fact, over the weekend, Iran issued a major warning threatening retaliation after what it claimed was a Ukrainian attack on an Iranian commercial vessel. This is what the statement from the Iranian foreign minister looked like. This was issued on Sunday, condemning the strike on an Iranian commercial vessel in the Caspian Sea. Zelensky has attacked an Iranian commercial vessel, killing a sailor, a blatant UN Charter violation done at Israel's behest to drag Europe into its war. That's the statement from the Iranian foreign minister. This was after Iran's foreign ministry also condemned the attack on the Iranian vessel in the Caspian Sea, saying it resulted in an explosion that killed one sailor and injured another. In fact, as you can see, the Iranian foreign minister has also talked about how the attack will not go unanswered. Now, these are explosive claims coming in from Iran at this point with far-reaching implications. Let's also lay out the context here for you. Geographically speaking, this is the area that we are talking about and why all of these developments carry a lot of significance and weight. Tehran, in fact, described the attack on its vessel as an act of aggression and said that it would defend its national interests and security while accusing Ukraine of seeking to expand the war in Ukraine. The Iranian Foreign Ministry, meanwhile, summoned Ukraine's chargé d'affaires in Tehran to convey its protest over what it described as a quote-unquote hostile and criminal attack, according to Iran's state news agency. And what has Ukraine said now? Ukraine's foreign minister dismissing Iran's accusations as unjustified and groundless following that attack in the Caspian Sea. Remember, throughout the war in Ukraine, Kyiv has had to counter Iranian-designed drones deployed by Moscow. In fact, Kyiv has also reportedly offered its drone interception expertise to countries in West Asia that have been suffering strikes from Iran. That's the background. And the Ukrainians have also acknowledged long-range strikes on Iranian ships in the Caspian Sea, saying that they were aimed at military cargo vessels heading for Russia. Zelensky has also earlier warned that North Korea is preparing to send another 30,000 troops to participate in Russia's war on Ukraine. So a lot has been happening on that front as well. But here's the thing, the details of the developments in the Caspian Sea are disputed, and there are bound to be claims and counterclaims. But what triggered these developments in the first place? What went on behind the scenes? Iran claims Ukraine carried out this attack on Israel's behest. Is that really what happened? Or was Ukraine, if at all, it carried out this attack, was it trying to send out a message to Donald Trump, perhaps hoping to put the spotlight on the alleged cooperation between Russia and Iran, with the aim of perhaps turning Trump against Putin at a very crucial time? Remember the background against which these significant developments come. Iran has allegedly long been supplying the Shahid drones to Russia for its war against Ukraine. Russia has long used the Shahid drones in the war, a weapon that analysts sometimes refer to as the poor man's cruise missile. So are the latest ominous developments a sign of things to come? Are seemingly overlapping conflicts now spanning the two continents of Europe and Europe and Asia? And what happens now from here onwards? What will the fallout look like? Iran has warned of unforeseen consequences, like we said, but what exactly will its retaliation be, if at all? In fact, as far as the epicenter of those tensions, the Strait of Hormuz, is concerned as well, Iran has been doubling down on Monday, saying it was still in control of the Strait of Hormuz and not seeking to resume peace talks with the United States after Trump halted the bombing campaign that has the top brass telling him reportedly that had run its course. This came after 13 consecutive nights of intensifying bombing. Trump halted the campaign over the weekend reportedly, and Iran has now said it would suspend its own attacks for as long as America's pause endures. But then in signs on Monday that Tehran may already be testing the effective new ceasefire, Jordan reported shooting down 2 drones, and Iraqi security forces said drones had struck a base of the Iranian Kurdish opposition fighters in northern Iraq. What about the diplomatic efforts, though? The U.S. ambassador to the United Nations said on Sunday itself that Trump had paused the campaign to allow room for negotiations. In fact, Marco Rubio, other U.S. officials have been describing Iran as begging for a deal, quote unquote. But the spokesperson for Iran's foreign ministry has said in a televised press conference on Monday that Iran had not asked to resume peace talks with America, and messages reportedly were still being passed between the sides through mediators, and Iran had not forsaken diplomacy. But reports about Iran requesting negotiations with America are fabricated, is what the official had said. Also sending out a strong message. Iran says it will not allow America to dictate decisions on war and peace. The Iranian Foreign Ministry spokesman, in fact, also claiming the U.S. is stuck in a self-made quagmire after 5 months. What will Iran's next move be? What will this promised retaliation look like? Is Europe also getting dragged into this war? And will this expand into a wider conflict? Shifting focus for now, the bombing may have paused, but the missile war has not. For 3 days now, US strikes on Iran have stopped, but Tehran's retaliatory fire has kept the pressure on, exposing the challenge of stopping missiles designed to, in a way, confuse even sophisticated air defenses. And one Iranian weapon is now drawing particular attention. Let's tell you more about that in our next report.
The bombs have stopped falling, for now. After 2 weeks of relentless US bombardment, Washington has paused its strikes on Iran. Tehran too has halted its missile and drone attacks on American bases. But Tehran's retaliation has stunned America. Iranian missiles and drones have kept targeting American positions, forcing US forces to rely heavily on expensive interceptors to defend themselves. And that is where the Kyiv enters the picture. The Iranian missile is relatively compact. It is mobile. It is designed for precision. And its biggest advantage may be the way it flies. According to reports, the Kyiv can combine different flight paths, maneuvers and speeds, making it harder for air defense systems to predict exactly where the missile is heading. That creates a dangerous problem. An interceptor has to detect the incoming weapon, calculate its trajectory and destroy it before impact. But if the missile changes its behavior during flight, the window for defense becomes smaller. Iran's strategy is therefore not simply about firing more missiles, it is about making every incoming missile harder to stop. Every Iranian missile or drone forces America to make a choice. Let it through, or fire an interceptor. The problem is that interceptors are expensive and limited. According to assessments by the Center for Strategic and International Studies, the United States has already used roughly 1/3 of its combined pre-war inventory of critical precision weapons during early fighting with Iran. These include THAAD, Patriot interceptors as well as offensive missiles. Trump, however, dismissed those reports, insisting American stockpiles remain fully loaded. Tehran's message is becoming clearer. It does not need to destroy every American defense system. It only needs to overwhelm it, confuse it, and find the gaps and inflict pain. Israel's Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu is due at the White House on Tuesday and is expected to urge Trump to continue to take a tough line on Tehran, in particular on its nuclear program. Iran has long insisted the program is for civilian purposes, but the United States and its allies allege it is aimed at developing a weapon. Bureau Report WION, World is One.
As the deadlock over the US-Iran war continues, Pakistan's somewhat desperate attempt to showcase its relevance also continues at a time when his country is in dire need of foreign investments and energy supplies. The Pakistan Army Chief is trying to create what is perceived to be a new military alliance of Muslim-majority countries. This process gained momentum last year when Pakistan and Saudi Arabia inked a strategic mutual defense agreement in September. The two sides pledged that any attack on either nation would be treated as an act of aggression against both. Amid the risk of getting embroiled in the West Asia war, the Pakistan Army chief deployed thousands of troops, fighter jets, air defense systems to Saudi Arabia reportedly. While Pakistan has already signed a defense deal with Kuwait, it is also exploring defense pacts with Qatar as well as Turkey. Now, the defense agreement with Kuwait has also come under scrutiny. While both nations signed the deal in 2023 itself, Kuwait ratified it only a day earlier. The reason for this prolonged delay remains a mystery as well. As per reports, the pact establishing a framework for cooperation between Pakistani and Kuwaiti armed forces in areas like training, intelligence sharing, logistics, military manufacturing. A joint military committee will reportedly oversee this pact, which will remain in place for 5 years. This also comes at a time when Kuwait's infrastructure has borne the brunt of Iran's retaliation during the ongoing West Asia conflict. Remember, it has been grappling with a barrage of Iranian missiles and drones, as well as attacks on US bases and desalination plants. As per Reuters, in fact, Pakistan has been negotiating an expanded defense agreement with Kuwait in exchange for energy cooperation and investment. Kuwait is reportedly seeking deployment of Pakistani forces on its soil akin to the Saudi Arabia pact. Reuters also claimed that Bahrain is interested in a similar agreement, whereas Jordan has expressed interest in a weapons and training deal with Pakistan. In January this year, Pakistan's Federal Minister for Defense Production had said that the Pakistan, Saudi Arabia and Turkey exploring a joint defense pact, but a final consensus is yet to emerge. In May, Pakistan's defense minister went a step ahead. He told a local media outlet that Pakistan desires Qatar as well as Turkey to join its existing defense agreement with Saudi Arabia to ensure a robust defense alliance in West Asia. He said, I'm quoting, that will potentially minimize dependence on the outside region. Even as Pakistan attempts to boost its military prowess to strengthen its position in a potential conflict with India, it's worth noting that Munir's forces have struggled to tackle even internal turmoil, whether it's Balochistan or other areas. There have also been dissatisfaction and growing calls for freedom in POK. Remember, at present, a Pakistan-driven military alliance seems to be a pipe dream at best. Ukraine is facing a brutal new phase of the war. Russian missiles, drones, glide bombs are hammering various cities as civilian casualties surge to their highest levels since 2022. Ukraine is also hitting back deep inside Russia, turning the skies over both countries into a battlefield. Our next report getting you the latest from on the ground.
Russian forces have increased the intensity of its aerial bombardment across Ukraine. These are images of burning buildings in Kyiv. Russian missiles slam into the capital as fires tear through at least 3 districts of the Ukrainian capital. Emergency crews rush towards the flames as residents scramble for safety. The assault does not stop there. In Zaporizhia, a Russian glide bomb tears into the city. In Kharkiv, Ukrainian authorities says another deadly attack strikes civilians. CCTV footage captures the moment the strike hits, turning an ordinary scene into chaos in seconds. Relatives seen crying over the body of a 40-year-old woman killed by a Russian missile.
The strike happened on a Sunday, a day off, with a direct hit. It occurred in the morning when people were in their homes, and you can see the consequences.
These images released by Moscow shows a road bridge being destroyed in Sumy region. Across Ukraine, the scale of the violence is becoming harder to contain. The latest figures point to the deadliest month for Ukrainian civilians since Russia launched its full-scale invasion in 2022. The attacks are stretching Ukraine's air defenses and putting cities far from the front line under pressure. But Kyiv is not simply absorbing the blows. Ukraine has been stepping up its deep strike campaign against Russia, targeting military infrastructure, logistics and facilities supporting Moscow's war effort. Now Ukrainian drones are reportedly striking across southern Russia. Moscow says that at least 12 people have been killed and 19 wounded in Ukrainian attacks in Zaporizhia region. These images released by Ukrainian armed forces show US-made HIMARS firing rockets towards Russian positions. Moscow says Russian air defenses intercepted 276 drones on Monday. Zelensky said his forces had struck an export terminal in the western Rostov region as well as oil facilities. Russia is intensifying its attacks on Ukrainian cities. Ukraine is taking the fight deeper into Russian territory, and with civilian casualties climbing, the war is entering an even more dangerous cycle of escalation. Bureau Report, WION, World is One.
Time now for global headlines coming in at this hour, taking you around the world in 120 seconds.
Bangladesh launched the construction of a long-delayed industrial zone near the port city of Chattogram, a joint venture with China. The Chinese Economic and Industrial Zone, an 800-acre development, was first agreed over a decade ago. Nepal inaugurated the Naghunda Sis-Nekola Tunnel, the country's first modern road tunnel built with assistance from Japan. Romania ordered a Russian embassy employee expelled as a firm response to drones repeatedly breaching the country's airspace. Romania shot down 3 drones on 3 consecutive days. Paramilitary drone strikes shook Sudan's El Ubaid hours after the army regained control of highway to capital Khartoum. The rival rapid support forces have for months amassed troops around El Ubaid, attempting to encircle it. The first volunteer in England received a vaccine against Bundibugyo's Ebola virus as part of a human trial by the University of Oxford, seeking to accelerate efforts to combat an outbreak spreading in the Democratic Republic of Congo and Uganda. The Teatro Amazonas in Manaus has been recognized as a UNESCO World Heritage Site as part of the newly inscribed Theaters of the Amazon cultural property. The men's speed highline world record was shattered 4 times during a week at the World Championships in Switzerland. China's Liang Peng Li emerged as the ultimate speed demon, racing across a 60-meter line suspended high above the Swiss landscape.
As China continues to expand the world's largest navy and Pakistan threatens its underwater warfare capabilities as well, New Delhi meanwhile responding with a clear strategic objective, a 200-ship Indian Navy by 2035. And this 200-ship target is not just about increasing numbers, it's also about building a stronger, more self-reliant naval force capable of safeguarding India's interests across the Indian Ocean. According to defense experts, that vision is taking shape with the recent commissioning of 2 indigenous warships, a stealth frigate and an anti-submarine warfare vessels. And experts say their induction reflects India's growing confidence in domestic naval construction. Because INS Mahendragiri, for example, is designed by the Indian Navy's Warship Design Bureau and built by Mazagon Dock shipbuilders with nearly 75% indigenous content. A strong example of the Atmanirbhar push in the defense sector. At present, the Indian Navy operating over 140 vessels, including destroyers, frigates, submarines, while another 50 warships are under construction. Throughout this year, a new Indian warship, on average, is reportedly entering service roughly every 6 weeks. And in the past month and a half alone, the Navy has commissioned as many as 5 indigenous vessels. In late June, for example, Prime Minister Modi commissioned 3 indigenously built warships in Kolkata, including INS Donagiri, a stealth frigate packed with advanced weapons and sensors, like the BrahMos missiles and also modern air defense systems, massively boosting the Navy's combat capabilities. The INS Sanchadak was also commissioned on the same day, one of India's latest survey vessels. The ship is designed to map the oceans and collect crucial hydrographic data. Equipped with autonomous underwater vehicles, it further strengthens maritime domain awareness. And completing the trio is the one built to detect and neutralize underwater threats in shallow waters. Its advanced sonar systems and torpedoes making it a key asset against enemy submarines. According to defense experts, meanwhile, the recent launches by the Indian Navy indicated that the 200-ship target is steadily moving towards reality. Reports say the 7th and final ship of the Nilgiri-class frigate, INS Vindhyagiri, is also expected to join the fleet within months. Beyond that, 7 next-generation Project 17 Bravo warships are also in the pipeline, highlighting India's long-term commitment to modernizing its fleet. In fact, Prime Minister Modi recently said the launching of new ships are proof that India no longer wants to remain merely a buyer in the global defense market.
आज भारत रक्षा क्षेत्र में केवल खरीदार बनकर नहीं रहना चाहता। हमारी सैन्य शक्ति दुनिया के लिए बाजार नहीं बन सकती।
India, remember, has also set an even bigger milestone, achieving complete self-reliance in naval shipbuilding, including critical components, by the year 2047, while also becoming one of the world's top 5 shipbuilding nations by the centenary of independence. But experts say challenges do remain. For example, India still imports specialized steel and several high-end technologies, while according to experts, supply chain gaps and aging shipyard infrastructure continue to slow progress. And to overcome these, India is taking several steps, including forming key strategic partnerships, and that's a crucial factor. India and Japan, for example, have already signed an agreement to jointly develop the Unicorn stealth mast for future warships, while discussions on co-producing Japan's Mogami-class frigates, reflecting New Delhi's focus on technology collaboration without compromising on self-reliance. And the regional backdrop also making these efforts increasingly significant. China, for example, already operates more than 370 warships and continues to project power across the Indo-Pacific. Pakistan reportedly set to receive 8 Chinese-built Hangar-class attack submarines. For India, strengthening the Navy is not simply a military objective, it is essential for protecting sea lanes, securing trade, deterring potential threats, and also reinforcing India's position as a major maritime power in the Indian Ocean region. The power of India's youth manifested itself, and how, with the recent massive protest in New Delhi, which finally resulted in the resignation of Dharmendra Pradhan as the country's education minister. And now Telangana chief minister has proposed lowering the age for contesting elections from 25 to 21 years in a way to enhance Gen Z's stake in electoral politics. This proposal sparked a debate, though, with the Union Minister of State for Home Affairs also challenging Reddy to demonstrate his commitment to youth empowerment by first giving the Gen Z leaders a place in the state cabinet. The Union Minister said that if the Telangana Chief Minister was genuinely serious about giving greater political representation to the younger generation, he should first induct leaders between the ages of 21 and 30 into the state cabinet. He also urged the state government to ask the sitting members of the Legislative Council to resign and nominate Gen Z leaders in their place. Claiming that the home, education, municipal administration portfolios remain vacant, the BJP leader further said these key departments should be entrusted to young leaders. Also taking a swipe at the Congress, alleging that the party has a history of appointing senior leaders to positions meant for youth, and questioning whether elderly leaders were now being projected as representatives of Gen Z. The minister's remarks coming a day after Revanth Reddy proposed that the minimum age to contest Lok Sabha and Assembly elections should be lowered. He also proposed reducing the eligibility age for Rajya Sabha and the Legislative Council elections from 30 to 25 years, saying he would seek support from leaders across the political parties to build consensus on the proposed legislation. That's not all. Reddy also announced that Telangana will convene a special assembly session in early August to pass a resolution urging the centre to amend the law. The Chief Minister said if 21-year-olds are eligible to join the IAS, IPS, IFS, even contest the local body elections, then why can they not contest Assembly or Lok Sabha elections? In fact, he cited examples, countries like the UK, Germany, where younger candidates are also eligible to contest national elections. Reddy said the Gen Z movement must now translate into greater political participation. He urged young Indians to become lawmakers, ministers, future prime ministers, arguing that the country's youth deserves a stronger voice in governance. So this proposal has ignited a wider debate on whether the time has come to lower the age barrier in politics to allow greater representation to young voices. Let's just give you more context here. As of now, over half of India's population is below the age of 30 years. However, the average age of MPs in the 18th Lok Sabha standing at 56 years, which is the highest ever, by the way. At least 25 MPs are below the age of 35 years, while as many as 105 are above the age of 66 years. Shifting focus to China now, a student was startled by loud banging at her door reportedly, and when she opened it, a man pushed his way inside and asked her to record a video for her family, asking for ransom. But there's a catch here. This kidnapping scenario as such was not real. Let's tell you what we are talking about. This man was simply an instructor from a private summer camp, preparing the Chinese youth who want to study in the US to deal with the perceived risks of living there. Training for life in America. This comes at a time when America's immigration and customs enforcement is facing flack for its intense crackdown. As per reports, one of the main components of such camps is training students on how to cope with such raids. It simulates the tactics, the procedures, preparing the participants to respond calmly and effectively to sudden raids in everyday settings like homes, schools, public spaces. What else do these camps offer as part of training? Apart from kidnapping drills, the course is also reportedly putting students through various scenarios on how to deal with hate crimes, phone and internet scams, as well as bullying. This new phenomenon in China also assuming significance in the wake of Donald Trump's administration tightening the rules for international students, remember. For example, it recently imposed a 4-year cap on student and cultural exchange visas. China also took offense at being singled out in case of journalists, while Chinese journalists can reportedly get a US visa for a maximum of 3 months. The limit for other foreign journalists reportedly standing at 240 days.
China demands the United States immediately undo its discriminatory policies against Chinese journalists and genuinely protect the legal rights and interests of Chinese journalists in the United States. China reserves the right to take reciprocal countermeasures.
And China's training camps are gaining traction as US has also witnessed a spate of protests throughout the year over Trump's immigration crackdown. Protests initially erupted, remember, after a 37-year-old was shot dead by an officer. This was on the 7th of January. Legal experts also raised concern over a memo whereby the people can be arrested from their homes without a judicial warrant, reportedly. And the outrage intensified as another US citizen was gunned down by the agents at point-blank range. In February, Trump removed US Border Patrol commander as well, who emerged as the figure of the immigration crackdown. Recently, a diplomatic row also arose as the Mexican president requested for criminal charges to be filed in US courts over the death of its citizens. Since Trump started his presidential tenure last year, at least 17 Mexican nationals reportedly have died during such raids or in the agency's custody. Shifting focus, the sky is turning black, walls of fire racing across southern Europe. France and Spain battling wildfires so intense that they are creating their own weather patterns, with firestorms generating winds and lightning that can suddenly change direction. More than 300,000 people have been evacuated as the firefighters face an unprecedented battle against these flames threatening major population centers.
Massive infernos are devouring southwestern Europe as France and Spain face their worst wildfire emergency in modern history. Towering pyrocumulonimbus clouds are generating their own erratic winds and lightning, spinning blazes out of human control. In France, the danger is moving closer to Bordeaux. The fire in the Gironde region is just 15 kilometers from a major population center of around 850,000 people. French President Emmanuel Macron held a crisis cabinet meeting. France has deployed about 2,500 firefighters along with soldiers backed by 18 planes and helicopters, including from other European nations. Despite the best equipment, firefighters lament that they are unable to contain the inferno.
We are powerless today. It has eaten everything in its path. It has invaded us completely. It has eaten all our forest heritage. It's moving. So we are forced to do what we can with what we have today because we lack resources tremendously. It's very, very complicated today, you see, and it is here today and it has eaten everything. It is now heading to Blagon. It's unmanageable.
Weather Department in France warned temperatures could reach 40 degrees Celsius this week, creating even tougher conditions for crews already battling exhausted forests and dry vegetation. Spain is facing its own devastating wildfire crisis. Evacuation centers have been set up in the Spanish capital as wildfires continue to rage across the west of the Madrid region and the Valencia region. A total of 76,000 people have been evacuated in Spain.
I don't know. There are no words for this. We don't know if when we get to the town we'll have half the house burned down, or we'll have it intact, or we won't have a house, all the clothes, all the memories, everything. The only thing I had time to grab was a kit I have for the dogs.
A large wildfire broke out on Italy's Garganao Peninsula, forcing hundreds of tourists and beachgoers to evacuate. Climate scientists warn that what is playing out across France and Spain may be a new normal. For now, communities hold together, volunteers pour in, and firefighting crews take the next line. The story is not over. The aftermath will be counted in lost homes, altered landscapes, and a continent asking how to stop a blaze that fights back. Bureau Report, WION, World is One.
We now get you a very special story. It's about a teenager who has proved that determination can outshine every obstacle. A 14-year-old girl, a class 10 student from Andhra Pradesh. She has been chosen for an all-girls lunar satellite mission. Jessie dreams of becoming an ISRO scientist, and despite growing up in a financially struggling family with her father working as a carpenter, she refused to let hardship define her future, overcoming all odds. When her parents shifted her from a private school to a government school, the move reportedly became a turning point for her. Her science teacher reportedly spotted her passion, encouraged her to apply for this mission, and even helped her secure a late entry after the program had already started. This mission is an international initiative that basically encourages girls to take up careers in space science and technology. The program trains students in satellite design, gives them the opportunity to contribute to a lunar CubeSat mission while also working with participants from around the world. Jessie completed nearly 550 online sessions covering advanced space technologies before earning her place. Also received a laptop and books sent to support her journey towards ISRO from the Andhra Pradesh Deputy Chief Minister. Jessie, in fact, is among just 20 students selected from India from a total of 12,000 applicants across 108 countries. The next phase begins on the 23rd of August, with the student-built lunar CubeSat sent for launch from the Satish Dhawan Space Center in Sriharikota on the 11th of October. For this young girl, this remarkable achievement is not the finish line, of course. It's only the beginning of this spectacular journey. After more than a year of slowing recruitment and cutting white-collar jobs, some of America's biggest companies seem to be changing course. Firms across technology, transportation, defense, manufacturing now say they need more employees to support future growth. Major companies have told investors they plan to increase hiring in key areas. The shift also coming after many employers spent months limiting recruitment, believing AI could automate more work and help them operate with leaner workforces. Instead, executives now say AI is proving to be a tool that complements employees rather than replacing them entirely. Companies say the next phase of AI adoption requires more skilled workers, now fewer. Alphabet plans to continue hiring in AI and cloud computing, while ServiceNow reportedly is expanding its sales workforce to capitalize on growing demand for cybersecurity and enterprise software. Booz Allen, which reduced its workforce by 7.5% over the past year after federal spending cuts, now saying it reportedly needs to accelerate hiring as demand rebounds, particularly in national security roles requiring security clearances. HR platform saying many employers that paused entry-level recruitment are hiring again after realizing AI still requires engineers, sales professionals, junior employees who can work alongside intelligence systems. Companies are increasingly looking for workers with AI native skills rather than expecting AI to actually replace entire roles. The renewed hiring signals coming as the US labor market remains resilient. Layoffs are easing, while recent jobless claims have also remained near historic lows, reflecting a relatively strong employment environment. A staffing firm, Robert Half, saying hiring demand continues to improve and AI's impact on jobs has so far been less disruptive than many feared. However, experts also caution that the long-term effects of AI on employment remain uncertain. While companies are recruiting again, most are not planning large-scale hiring sprees and continue to focus on specialized roles. Economists also say businesses are still trying to determine the right balance between automation and human talent, making the future of work an evolving picture rather than a settled one. Christopher Nolan's The Odyssey is making waves far beyond the box office. In fact, the epic has sparked a surge in interest in learning Greek, with UK searches for Learn Greek jumping 550% in just a month, as audiences look to explore the world behind this legendary tale. Written nearly 3,000 years ago, The Odyssey remains one of the world's greatest literary works. In fact, experts say the adaptation has inspired viewers to dive deeper into the world of Greek mythology, history, and the rich cultural legacy behind the epic. According to reports, interest is growing in both ancient as well as modern Greek. While ancient Greek allows readers to experience the original text, modern Greek, however, helps people connect with Greece and its culture today. And experts say films often inspire people to learn a language by creating an emotional connection as well with the story and its history. But access to ancient Greek remains a challenge. Classics and ancient Greek are still taught more widely in independent schools, while opportunities for students in many state schools continue to be limited. Academics also saying studying ancient languages strengthens critical thinking as it combines history, literature, and language, while encouraging students to analyze complex texts. The Odyssey stars Matt Damon and features a huge cast including Tom Holland, Zendaya, Anne Hathaway, and others. The film's retelling of this timeless epic is not only drawing audiences to theaters, but also inspiring many to rediscover the language, its history, the mythology behind one of the world's oldest stories. Time now to get you some offbeat stories. There is an old saying, age is just a number, and Japan's football icon is proving exactly that. At 59, the legendary striker found the net for the first time in nearly 4 years, helping Fukushima United cruise to a major victory in an Emperor's Cup qualifier. Playing in that incredible 41st professional season, the man fans know as King Kazu raced into the box, beat 2 defenders to the ball, and finished a pinpoint cross in the 52nd minute. The goal marking another remarkable milestone in that career that has stretched across 4 decades. He later said the finish came from being in the right place at the right time, adding that he wanted to justify the faith shown by his coach and teammates. From making his professional debut in Brazil in 1986 to playing in Italy, Croatia, Australia, Portugal, the Japanese forward has inspired generations. He also played a key role in popularizing professional football in Japan after the J-League's launch in the year 1993. His latest goal now sending a powerful message: when passion and ambition refuse to retire, age truly becomes just a number. If you spot a spider in your home, do you want to kill it? And experts, in fact, saying now that is not to be done. It's perhaps time to change your approach towards how we perceive spiders. Why exactly shouldn't we be killing spiders then? According to a report, an expert who studies insects, their behavior and impact on the world at large, explaining that spiders are an important part of nature and our indoor ecosystem as well. In fact, the expert who heads the NC State Plant Disease and Insect Clinic in the US reportedly conducted a survey of 50 homes in North Carolina to decode this phenomenon. While it's natural to fear spiders, he also claimed that a majority of the species do not have enough venom to harm humans. In fact, according to him, spiders are particularly useful. Yes, they're useful according to him, as they regularly capture and eat nuisance pests and even disease-carrying insects. Stressing that spiders are not out to get you and bites are extremely rare, the expert had a friendly word of advice here. If you truly cannot stand spiders, try to capture them and release them outside. As a result, both parties will be happy with the outcome and it will be a win-win. Time now to get you one of the most powerful images of the day. Thousands of anti-government protesters took to the streets of Manila ahead of the State of Nation address by the Philippines president. The demonstrators called for accountability for a corruption scandal linked to bogus flood control projects, allegedly. And before we wrap up, here's a quick look at major events expected to shape headlines around the world over the next 24 hours. US President Donald Trump expected to hold meetings with the Ukrainian president, as well as another meeting with the Israeli Prime Minister in Washington, D.C. on Tuesday, amid the ongoing conflicts in West Asia and the Russia-Ukraine war. Italy will host a meeting of the Global Alliance for the two-state solution to the Israel-Palestine conflict. This will be in Rome on July 28 to 29, advancing the implementation of the New York Declaration signed in 2025 is the meeting's core focus. Subject to favorable weather conditions, the annual Holy Hindu pilgrimage in Jammu and Kashmir's Kishtwar district to the shrine of the goddess Chandi Mata officially commences for devotees on the 28th of July. And with that, it's a wrap on this edition of Gravitas Tonight. This is me, Molly Gambhir, signing off. Thanks very much for watching.
The Israeli drone is above our heads all the time in Lebanon. More than 200,000 civilian homes have been destroyed. This looks like it used to be a toy for a little girl. Can't but wonder while I'm walking between all of this rubble, how many lives were destroyed, how many kids were traumatized, how many women lost their families. If this isn't a war crime, then what is? From the southern suburb of Beirut, I'm Radi Francis for WION World is One.
From the bustling trading floors of Wall Street to the vibrant exchanges of Asian stock markets, WION breaks it down for you to make sense of what's happening, as we reveal the key factors behind events, strategic battles, and the game-changing business decisions that shape the world. We bring you all of this and more on World Business Watch.
In-depth coverage of global issues broken down into facts, figures, and simple words. Backed with analysis from field experts who truly matter, because we believe in decoding the real picture for you. So you get a much wider and deeper understanding of stories from around the world, a 360-degree analysis. An award-winning documentary series, week after week creating the maximum impact. Watch WION Wide Angle at these times on WION World is One.
WION, India's global voice. The channel that brings you the biggest stories from across the world through India's lens. Now available in more than 190 countries worldwide. Because we believe that the world is one. Watch us in Africa, Europe, USA and Canada, South America, Asia Pacific, Middle East and North African regions. Also available on these digital platforms across the world. WION. World is one.
Campaigns, elections, alliances, controversies, and power play. Stories that analyze global and domestic politics. A dedicated show with varied perspectives, expert take, citizens' voices, detailed ground reports, and in-depth coverage from political corridors of the world. This is Race to Power, only on WION.
In this rapidly changing world, is your health keeping pace? Best practices and breakthroughs busting the hype with real insights. The timeless power of yoga and ancient healing. Good food, good mood. Small steps, big impact. Your health matters. Only on WION World is One. Because nothing matters more.
Get the latest updates. Breaking news. Credible, clear, continuous. Experts across aisles. Diverse voices, one platform. WION World is One.
Know more, understand better, think ahead. Hello and a very warm welcome. You are watching Gravitas with me, Molly Gambhir. Get the facts, not the bombast. On the 26th of March, dynamic pricing, Baloch separatists, Gravitas cuts out the clutter. Gravitas keeps calm when others scream. Gravitas brings news to life. Weekdays, 9 p.m. IST, 3:30 p.m. GMT. Gravitas. Seeing is believing.
In-depth coverage of global issues broken down into facts, figures, and simple words. Backed with analysis from field experts who truly matter, because we believe in decoding the real picture for you. So you get a much wider and deeper understanding of stories from around the world, a 360-degree analysis. An award-winning documentary series, week after week creating the maximum impact. Watch WION Wide Angle at these times on WION World is One.
Hello, you're watching Beyond Pulse. I'm Shreya Upadhyay. Up ahead, we get you all that is making news in India and across the world. First up, a quick look at the top stories. US President Donald Trump tells Axios that he has decided to pause the strikes on Iran in order to give negotiations another chance. But he stressed that he could order a return to expand in military operations if diplomacy fails. An Israeli tank moves through Zwatar al-Sharqiyyeh in